Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Shadowverse episode with your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Cards, King of Kings, Defender of the Faith. Here today with Aggro Dragon. Yes, indeed, it's another aggro deck. I do occasionally like aggro decks. I mean, I'm not a huge one. I prefer sort of more tempo mid-range style, which is also why you will never see me play a control deck or a combo deck. They're just not quite my style, but I think aggro decks are interesting enough to work out, and this one sort of works out. It has some synergies with wide boards. It's got Heroic Dragon Slayer for some interesting card transformation finishes. It has some tokens and some other sort of neat stuff. It's a sort of fun deck in itself, and it's also pretty cheap as well. It does run some goals. I mean, you could pretty much pop up Dragon Cleaver Roy. It's a card I nabbed here from Professor Wolf's list, I think his name was. But again, you can easily switch it out there, probably with just something that creates more tokens. But the rest, I mean, it's not a lot of golds, and there's only one legendary, which is just their sort of an extra finisher. But even that, you can in theory just pop out and replace for more Dragon Hawk, which is a silver. So in Mage, it's a cheap, interesting, and fun deck that works out pretty well in a meta that is, in some ways, getting a bit greedy and doesn't run a lot of water, anything that can really sort of mess up this one deck, or a lot of heal for that matter. So that tends to be still the decks that sort of run this. So either decks with some amount of heal and you just can't push through. So with enough wards, big wards, those small wards it can burn through the force of the dragon, even Dragoon Scyther, like, you need to be able to produce several medium-sized wards, which is not something a lot of decks can actually do. So there you have it, Aggro Dragon. Let's give it a spin and see how it works out. Here we go, Bloodcraft, which is certainly seeing more usage as of late. Seemingly they found out, Vengeance how to work that. In particular, it also turns out it's reasonably good versus Haven. At least I'm struggling with my own mid-range Haven deck against them. They just tend to run me down. So there's definitely a lot more of that about as of late. So it's very much worth keeping in mind. Because again, this sort of figure out check this in particular. There's also really explosive aggro deck that's appeared that runs Bellringer Angel. I might make a video about that one later. I didn't want to do too much aggro in the Bloodcraft at least. So figured out to try some other things as well, just for good sake and variety. But he got off the 1-2, so this is slightly awkward for me. We'll have to see what he plays next. If it comes to worse and he trades in his, whatnot, I can just sort of force the dragon to clear out. Or I could just play Dragon Aficionado. Save up force of the dragon for turn 5, where I might be able to just catch more of his stuff and just deal more damage that way. This slows down his expansion anyways, and he might make some misplays on it. Like one incorrect trade and boom, I get some very efficient trading going on there. See, now that's the sort of thing there where I'm talking about. Usually just want to trigger this one before then playing down. I think he doesn't even do that. Hello. Like now he's just making it really easy for me actually. Like you just king that one. And that take care of the rest. There we go. Forwards. Dragon lovers and lizards. Yeah, not too impressive. Yet. This could be neutral though, this could be aggro. It's a bit particularly difficult to see about this one. They tend to run a lot of the same cards. I mean, Baphomet is pretty much in every Bloodcraft deck because a 2-1 that draws your cards is good. Evolution will also use these aggro decks, neutral or otherwise, because 2-1 that deals 1 damage is also pretty good. So the trick of course is, what are they exactly running? And of course the trick is to force the dragon out here, begin pushing hard in, or to sort of try and preserve that one for a bit late. Well, I got 2 of them. Could also Fireless it in Draconic or Dragon Horde. Or I could Hippogriff Rider, trade in a bit and then just hit face for a lot. I think I like Force of the Dragonoot, allowing me to deal a lot of damage here. No, again, I could have just gone Hippogriff Rider, gone all face that, probably set up nice with Phoenix Rider Iron. Actually, that was probably the right play now that I think about it. Misplay from the Dane. Silly me. Silly Dane. Guess we found out soon enough what he is, if he's aggro or if he's neutral. If he's aggro, he's going to play Oblat, King of Pocket. There we go. Oblat. Now then, how much damage do you have? You got 5, 7, possibly there. So we need another 4 damage, which we get from this. At which point we do have a lethal. Right? Yes. There we go. GG. Dragoncraft. I haven't seen a lot of that lately, but all of a sudden I seem to just be running into it, so I counter it. Okay. Useful opening hand. If I get a wander up as well, that'd be amazing. Yes. No. Oh. I got a big finisher though, if I get that far. Got a really big one. Down he goes. Just a bit. Just good old Dragon Oracle, ramping up. Could be PDK, could be ramp. Guess we find out. Just gonna play as many flicks as I can. Though I might Dragon Clear of Roy into Dragon Strife, Dragon Life, whatever, then one that ramps up alongside the other ramp card, in which case I can get really fast to playing out RC Dahaka, which I think is sort of my end goal at the moment, just getting into that really fast. Alright, and he just had all of that in his hand. That feels slightly bad. That feels slightly bad. He is ramping hard, that's for sure. He is ramping very hard. So there we go. Now I'm not quite able to play it the next turn. Really close though, really close. But turn after that I can play RC Dahaka and just go bonkers. Theoretically bonkers. Alright, nothing at all. In which case I can actually play it. Holy sock poppet. That's a first, I can play it that early. Come down to 7. And he now has to deal with several big threats. And if he can't, he dies. Like, even if he can't kill the goblin, he just Dragon Horde him. And of course, if he can't, he dies no matter what. Like, if he can't kill Azir. Alright. Gerber of Draconic Mail. That's an unexpected move. But as you might notice, it's not a winning one. Boom. Baby. Swordcraft, going first. Probably want to keep Force of the Dragon Newt against whatever version. An aggressive board clear like that could be quite useful. In particular, it turns out to be aggro. and I really probably want it, as it can help deal with some of their ambush followers. I just hope I get a decent curve otherwise. I mean, I got a 1-drop, I got also a 3-drop, but a bit more would be nice, would be appreciated. We'll see where it goes. Alright. Got 1, 2, 3. Technically, I got a 4 there. Dragon Strife Blade or Dragon Life, depending on what I want to do. So far, no sign of anything that would indicate any archetype. But he's thinking a lot, which would indicate he might be mid-range, and he's thinking about he wants to use, you know what? Draw another one. A dragon, some of this. He's thinking a lot. Bladed Hedgehog. Alright. Slightly unpleasant threat, but nothing world shattering. Nothing world shattering. That's it. Vows. Well, we got a few options here, I guess. Oh. We also got that. That works. Alrighty then, let's see what he's got planned next, besides maybe shooting something then evolving into another thing. Bang! Alright. Pop goes that weasel. Down to 11. We keep up the pressure. Relentlessly. Naughty. Too bad it is nothing against the might of the Dragoon. There we go, down to 5. I got 1 Heroic Dragon Slayer, so I got at least a bit of finishing ability with that. Most mid-range sword decks tend actually not to be very heavy on anti-aggro tools, a lot of wards, so something like Aggro Dragon can actually run them down. I mean, they're silly, obviously, and you know, if you're actually pulling into a lot of them in a row, but that's about it. That is about it. Oh, lovely. Ooh. I got a lot of ways of finishing this match, depending on how things goes. I got a lot of ways. That's good. That's really good. Less good for him, obviously. A lot less good. He might play King Arthur out here trading and hope he gets a ward up, which he's got a statistically good chance of. Of course, if he does not have King Arthur, you might be in for a slightly more rough. Oh no! Oh no, my friend! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh no! Oh dear! No, there's no amount of water that can save him, thanks to the heroic Dragon Slayer. He's just a silver card, but he can't just give you that edge you need. Well, again, not really slaying any dragons, funnily enough. Killing a lot of things, but never any dragons. I mean, it doesn't matter what he discounts at this stage, to be honest. Sky Fortress? Sure. Knock yourself out. Queen Magnus! Yeah, great, give it a discount. That'll help. That will help not one bit, because it can't shield your face. Oh, in this case, I even had Dragoon Scyther, like, got a lot of ways of finishing this. There we go. There you go, Aggro Dragon. As you saw, it did pack a bit of punch that the opponent isn't prepared for. It can very quickly get nasty. It does have some options there, some synergies and some decisions you have to make, like when do you heroic Dragon Slay and so on there, when do you reveal that you got that extra bit of burn. Dragon Cleaver Roy there, again I took it from Professor Wolf's deck. He replaced it apparently with something else. That it has served me some use here in this at least version. Able to remove stuff, it just helped me run back faster for Acid to hack or something else. But again, you could probably play some with something that just creates orcas, which isn't a bad thing either. Force the Dragonoot, pretty helpful, and the rest of the cards just tend to work pretty well. In this regard, while it has adopted some decks from this expansion, it does have heroic, this for example. I mean, it's still sort of a lot part of what, you know, the old Aggro Dragon was, which was pretty good. It was sort of a latecomer to the meta, but while it's certainly, I think, slightly fallen out of favour for now, I do think it has plenty of room to get back into the meta game with a, shall we say, a bit of explosive force. Since again, it does pack a lot of punch, and even if you do what up against it, does, thanks to Rogue Dragon Slayer and Force the Dragonoot, just have a bit of extra push compared to some of the other aggro decks like Aggro Sword. So there you have it, Aggro Dragon. It's fun. So thank you all for joining in. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know, subscribe, like, share, comment. And of course, I'll be back in another 2 days' time with another video. Cheers, everybody. You're a wonderful audience.